Hi! Within this lecture, we're going to see how we can use Wireshark with man-in-the-middle attack. So far, we have been using this in our own Kali Linux. Now I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to launch a man-in-the-middle attack. But Wireshark is running on this terminal, so if I close this down, Wireshark will close as well. So I'm going to open a new terminal from here and I'm going to minimize this. Okay? So now you can use BetterCap, you can use man-in-the-middle framework, you can even use manual ARP poisoning as well in this case, because we're not going to get the sniffing data from the target computer, we're just going to analyze them in our Wireshark, so it won't even matter. Okay? But in my case, I'm going to go for BetterCap. So if you like man-in-the-middle framework better, then you can just go for it as well. So I'm going to run BetterCap as usual, saying BetterCap iface eth0, okay? And then later on, I'm just going to run net.probe on. So this will start net.probe and net.recon. And I'm going to set ARP spoof parameters like full duplex, okay, to true. And I'm going to set arp.spoof targets to my target computer, okay. So if you don't know what I'm doing right now, it means that you missed the BetterCap lectures. And if you want, you can go back and watch them. If you don't want, you can do this with man-in-the-middle framework or manual ARP poisoning as well. Later on, I'm just going to run arp.spoof, okay? And I don't even need to run this net.sniff, right? So it's not running, but I'm not going to sniff any data from here as well because I have Wireshark at this moment. So Wireshark is still running. So let me go to Windows, okay? And let me run CMD over here to see if my man-in-the-middle attack was successful. So let me come over here and say ARPA. Here you go, this is successful. As you can see, gateway has the same MAC address as my Kali Linux. So let me close this down and let me open any browser from here, okay? I'm going to go into any website to test my attack. So if I go to hotmail.com, for example, I believe it's not going to work because we're not going to downgrade it to the HTTP because we haven't initialized HSTS hijack caplet, right? So if I go to hotmail.com, as you can see, it starts in HTTPS mode. So either you go back and run the HSTS hijack caplet and try one more time, or you can just try it with any HTTP website like unicornitems.com. So let me go to unicornitems.com, okay? You can try with other HTTP websites as well. So over here, I'm going to go into my account, and in the account, as you might remember, there is some form that lets us input a username and password. So for username, I'm going to go for a ~sam, and for password, I'm just going to give 123456. So I'm going to log in, okay, and say never here. So this will fail because this account doesn't exist. But in our case, I believe we got this package in Wireshark. So let me go back to my Wireshark, and in fact, as you can see, there are a lot of packets right now. So we have been going around in our Kali Linux and Windows as well. So as you can see, we have these ARP requests as well. We have all kinds of packets, and I'm going to show you the details of these packets. But I'm going to stop it first because I don't want to get any further packets over here. So as you can see, we have a lot of ARP protocols. Why is that? So maybe you remember how this works. We're even going to write a tool for that in the Python section. So as I made net.probe available, it started asking who has this IP address to every device on the network. So it started to gather some responses, and it started to ask for like who has 10.02 155, 255, 137, 136, 138. So it asks for every possible IP address ranging from 0 to 255. Okay, so it gathers the related answers and it shows the related answers in a summary table to us. So saying that, yep, this has 10024 and this has this MAC address. So we see every detail, every step over here, as you can see, including ARP packets. So if I was an administrator of this network, and if I solve this, then I can understand there's something going on funny in my network. So I can just understand that this guy has the IP of 10.02.15, is running an ARP request in my network. So I can call him and I can ask him, what are you doing, man? What are you going to do with this information? Why are you running an ARP request, ARP broadcast in my network? So as you can see, network administrators can easily detect if something's going on in their network using this Wireshark. But that is not the case why we are here right now. This is not a network security monitoring lecture. Rather, we are trying to find some passwords and usernames. And in order to do that, we have to find some HTTP protocols because we are looking for some website requests, web responses. So if I come over here, I can write HTTP and hit enter, and it will filter out all the HTTP related protocols over here. So now my packets are narrowed down a little bit so I can find them easily. And another way to look for here is to find the post requests rather than get requests or regular requests. So as you can see, we have get requests here. And I believe we should have some post requests as well. So when you submit a form in the web, like a username or password or any other form, it generally, most of the time, it uses post method to submit that information to the server. Okay, so if you find some post methods over here, if you find some post packets, then it will be easier for you to detect the usernames and passwords. Don't worry, I'm going to show some other techniques as well, but this is one of the techniques. So you look for post methods. Okay, so let me scroll down a little bit so that maybe we can find the username and password without even filtering it further. But I believe, yeah, I cannot find it. So let me find the previous post method over here and double click on it to show you the details of the packets, okay, like that. So if you double click on that, it will open the details in another pop-up window. And over here you can see all the layers, all the details of this packet. So we are particularly interested with this HTTP Hypertext Transfer Protocol. If you're looking for usernames and passwords or contents displayed in the form, then you're going to go over here, okay? And in our case, I believe we cannot find the username and passwords. Even though I double click over here to dig deeper, I cannot seem to find it. So, yep, this was not successful, but we have analyzed the packet over here. We can see all the details, all the requests and responses, right? So let me show you another way of filtering further. So if you come over here to edit, you can say find packet, okay? So once you click on it, it will open another search tab over here. So in this case, we're going to go for string. So if you want to search for text, then you're gonna have to choose string over here. In this case, we have searched for a protocol, which is HTTP, but this time I'm just going to go for a string like username or password or any other value that you might want to search inside of a packet. So when you say username, for example, you can come over here to the top and say find, and it doesn't find anything, and it's odd. And in fact, it's not very odd because over here, as you can see, we are searching it inside of packet list, but what we really want to do is to search inside of packet details. So if you say search this inside of packet details, it really searches inside of packet contents rather than packet names. Okay, so make sure you choose packet details over here, and make sure you choose narrow and wide from this list. Okay, so let me come over here. The case sensitive, if you want to be case sensitive about this, you can choose it, but in our case I'm not. So I'm going to say find, and here you go, it found something. It's not even a post request, but if you double click on it, you may want to analyze it. Okay, you may want to see if it contains username and password that you're looking for. And I believe in our case it doesn't even contain the data that we are looking for. So as you can see, this is a long packet, so it has some sort of everything, every web page content in it. So let me come over here and search for password to be more specific, and once I do that, as you can see, we landed on a post method, so this is promising. So let me double click on this, and here you go. Now I believe we can find the username and password information in this packet. Here you go. Now we see the HTML form URL, and here we see the username, we see the password, and every detail of this packet as well. So this is how you use Wireshark. Maybe you can get this information with Better Cap and man-in-the-middle framework as well, but you have to learn how to use Wireshark. If you're going to be an ethical hacker or cybersecurity specialist, there is a very high chance that you will come across this Wireshark tool, so you better get familiarized with this and you better feel comfortable using it. So if you're going to attend a certificate like CEH or OSCP or OSWP, we're going to talk about them later on, you will have to know how to use Wireshark. So that's it. We're going to stop here and see you in the next section.